Hey guys, so I wanted to make this video really quick to talk about something that I've been working on. So last year, 2022, I worked for a Swedish disability company called Care. Care AB is a disability company in Sweden. But I worked for them on the 25th of the month because I worked for them from around ending of February 2022 to beginning of March 2022. So when I worked for them, around the ending of the month, if you live in Sweden, you know that every end of the month you have to sign in your timesheet, which is done like automatically through electronics. So when I worked for them, I asked them that I want to sign in my timesheet, and they didn't send me the form because they always send you the link when you go into their website and you sign electronic wise, and I didn't get it. So when I asked them why, they stopped calling me to work, and I didn't even mind because I was like, okay. So I wrote to the boss of the company. His name is David. So I wrote to David. I called David. David did not pick. He texted me and said he's on vacation, which I'm going to share the messages that we had with David. One of the things I asked David was I wanted his sleep, I wanted my salary, and we had to discuss the price of how much he's going to pay me. David told me that he's going to do that when he comes back from his vacation. And I told him, I said, I cannot wait until you come back from your vacation because I have bills to pay. I don't get in Sweden. If you live in Sweden, you know that every end of the month you have to pay your bills. So I cannot wait till you come back from vacation for you to explain to me why you haven't paid me or what's happening. So I told David that I was going to report him to the Swedish police, that I was going to go to the Swedish police and report his company, that his company is employing black people and is not willing to pay black people. And it's not the first time. Get it in mind that it's very common here in Sweden that a lot of Swedish companies employ blacks and they don't pay these blacks. And when you want to talk, they intimidate you by making you feel that if you talk about it, you lose everything and they can destroy your career here in Sweden. So I went to the Swedish police and I filed a complaint. They told me that I can go to the courts, they can file a complaint, and then I can take the reports and I can go to the courts and I can file a complaint to the courts in Sweden, which I did. I filed a complaint to the Södertälje's court. When we got there, this is the excuse to why David said he did not pay my salary. David claimed that the reason why he did not pay my salary was because I gave him my wrong security number. Then I asked David that, so when I asked you why I didn't pay my salary, why didn't you write it to me on the conversations that we had that the reason why you haven't paid me was because I gave you my wrong security number? He didn't say anything. And then I asked him, I said, but if you genuinely wanted to pay me and you realized that my social security number was wrong, you should have texted me when I texted you and asked you for my salary that, Jenny, this is the reason why I haven't paid your salaries because I cannot find your security number in the system and I would like for you to resend me your security number or we check the security number that you sent to me. He did not mention once in the conversation. So I told David that that is like a tactic that he's trying to use now. When I had a complaint to the Swedish court, I think it was on the 3rd of February that we had a court hearing at the Södertälje's court. In the court hearing, I sued David for inconveniences that he put me through, trauma, emotional, psychological trauma that he put me through, because the whole time when I asked for my salary, nobody could really give me a concrete explanation to why I didn't get my salary. And then, normally in Sweden, when you have a court hearing according to the Swedish law, they don't give you a response that same day. They tell you that you have to wait 3 weeks before they will send you a copy in your mail that the courts have decided what they have decided. On the 22nd of February, I got a decision from the court in Sweden, the Södertälje's court. And you know what the decision is saying? That I actually harassed the company because the Södertälje's court is asking me to pay the company 37,500 for harassing them. And you know what is so ridiculous is the fact that they're claiming that I harassed the company because I asked for my salary. How do I harass a company if I ask them to pay me my salary? And if you know me, if you've been following me on social media, I've been talking about how the Swedish work market is an exploitation center where a lot of black people are working as slaves. A lot of black people work in the Swedish work market and they don't get paid. And when you try to ask for your salary, you try to demand for them to pay you correctly, you know what they do? They tell you that you're harassing the company. They tell you that you're harassing them. And then they take you to their court, and then their court judges in the favor of the Swedish company. And that's what has just happened to me right now. The craziest part of it all is that a lot of black people in Sweden have found themselves in this kind of position like this in Sweden, where I am today, where you work for a company, they don't want to pay you, but you're so scared to take them to the system because if you take them up to the system will instead ask you to pay the company because they claim that you're harassing the company for asking for your salary. When I decided to file a case against Care in Sweden, a lot of people told me that I should not file a case. I should just allow the whole thing to die down because if I file a case, the court is going to judge in the favor of Care and I'll instead have to pay the company for harassment And I said to those people, I said, that is why I'm going to file a complaint, because at the end of the day, I want the whole world to see that the UN that is calling Sweden a humanitarian country, let the UN explain to us what is humanity, that black people don't have rights in Sweden, black people are working as slaves. When a black man asks for a salary in Sweden, they tell the black man that the black man is harassing the Swedish company, because that's what has happened to me right now. I'm being asked to pay a company that I'm harassing them because I asked for my salary. I had a conversation with them. And I've decided, because when I got the decision, I have the right to file another complaint to the higher court, because the court that we used, the court that gave me the decision, is the district court. So I've filed an appeal to the higher court, which is called tingsrätten. That's the higher court in Sweden. I filed a complaint to them. I just sent my complaint last night to them, and I've sent a complaint to them telling them that you should really look into the decision that the district court gave to me, because it's ridiculous that you tell me that I'm harassing a company because I asked them to pay my salary. I'm not a slave. I'm a black person. And I'll tell you one thing, this case is not even about the money, because at the end of the day, I don't even care so much about the money. What I care about is that I want to show people the reality of what the work market in Sweden looks like, because you see a lot of black people like this in Sweden that have worked for a lot of Swedish companies and they have ended up not getting paid, and they cannot even file a complaint to get their salaries, because when you file a complaint to get your salary, what do they tell you? That you're harassing the company. You have no right to talk to the boss. I have no right to talk to the boss, but I have a right to come to work, and the boss will not pay me for. And whatever decision that they will give to me, I will post it and I will update you guys, because normally when you file a complaint to the higher court, which is called tingsrätten in Sweden, normally it takes almost 6 months. They have maximum of 6 months to respond to your appeal. So whatever decision that I get from them, I will also update you guys, because like I said, I want to take you guys on this journey. I've always talked about the Swedish work market being a very toxic place where black people are literally working as slaves, and this is a clear example, because I have seen people go through this actually in Sweden. This is my first time of actually going through it, and I'm very grateful that I had to experience it myself, because then I'm able to tell my own story. Because most of the people that I've seen go through what I've gone through in Sweden, most times they're confining me or they talk about it, but they don't want to come publicly and tell it. So the fact that the Swedish work market decided to do the same thing to me, I'm ready to tell my story, and I'm ready to take people on this journey to show what it looks like as a black man working in the Swedish system. Why I'm making this video is because, Sweden has always claimed to be a humanitarian country, and UN that is always claiming how Sweden has kept the standard of humanity. Let the UN tell us, is this what humanity was supposed to look like? Black people working in a white country and being told and being denied for their salaries they are not being paid their salaries, and when they complain, they are being told how they are harassing the bosses because they want their salaries to be paid for their hours that they put in work, and the UN calls this humanity. Thank you for watching, and that was it. I just wanted to make this video to talk about this, because this is something that I've always been talking about how the work market in Sweden works, and me being able to experience it. I wanted to take you guys on this journey, and as we continue the journey, like I said, I've had a complaint to the high courts in Sweden. Whatever decision I get from them, I will analyze it, because it's definitely going to be in Swedish, and then I have to analyze it in English to be able to give you guys what they have said. So whatever decision I get from them, I'm going to analyze it, and I'm going to translate it from Swedish to English, and I'm going to give you guys an update, and let's see where the case is going to take us to, where this journey is going to take us to, because like I said, it's a very interesting case, and I really want to take everybody on this journey. Thank you very much. I hope to get again in my next video. Bye guys.